Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite sports icons and athletes. I'm Jet Manuel. In tonight's game plan, Pinay golfers Bianca Pagdanganan and Yuka Saso officially begin their quest for Olympic medals. We'll get the latest from their day one performances live from Tokyo. We'll also chat with the mother of men's pole vault finalist EJ Obiena.
And we'll also catch up with Creamline's Tots Carlos and Kyla Atienza in an exclusive edition of Inside the Game. And we'll talk NBA free agency. Carmelo Anthony teams up with LeBron James and the Lakers. And then DeRozan is headed to the Chicago Bulls. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Good evening, everybody. Two new quests for Olympic medals begin today. As the country's top female golfers, Bianca Pagdanganan and Yuka Saso, finished day one of the women's individual category. Under the blistering heat of the course, Pagdanganan finished with 2 under par at 7th place, while Saso scored 3 over par at 47th place. Our Olympics correspondent Paulo Del Rosario joins us live from Tokyo for the latest on our Pinay golfing pair. Pao?
Konnichiwa guys, Boom and Jet. Obviously, as you mentioned, a mixed day here for our Philippine women's golfers, Bianca Pagdanganan and Yuka Saso. Bianca having a great first round while Yuka Saso struggling throughout the day. You referenced the heat, and the heat did play a factor. In fact, the caddy of Yuka Saso had to be brought to the hospital yesterday due to a heat stroke, while for Bianca Pagdanganan, her caddy suffered a bit of dehydration and needed a bit of help as well. But for both of these athletes, they knew that there was really no excuse and they had to go on. Everyone was playing in the same condition. Bianca Pagdanganan in particular said that she was a bit used to conditions like this simply because she's so used to playing in the Philippines. So around the course, throughout the day, she brought an ice pack, she brought a fan, and she could be seen using both throughout the day. So with Bianca Pagdanganan making the adjustments early, she had a great start here in Tokyo. Unfortunately for Yuka Saso, a bit of frustration on her side. She wasn't able to get what she wanted here. According to her, the grass felt a bit slow, a bit different, but it has to be something that she will adjust to moving forward. She is placed very low at the moment at the end of day one, but with 3 more days to go, Yuka feels that she has a chance to still be competitive and fight for a spot on the podium. Back to you guys, Boom and Jet.
Hey, Pao, thank you. Of course, we were actually talking about it, me and Boom, that maybe the results of Bianca right now have been a reflection. I mean, personally, I know how hard or easy it is to play in the heat here, golf in the heat in the Philippines. But I just want to ask, we know Yuka Saso, what she's capable of course, winning the US Open. Bianca and Yuka have, seeing them play, seeing how they are, day one is always a tough day because you're adjusting to the course. How is their energy and how do you see them maybe performing as the days go on in the tournament?
Jet, I'm so glad you brought up the temperatures in the Philippines because you are our resident golfer on the game. So it's great to hear that. But as you mentioned, their energy level, there's a bit of frustration when it comes to Yuka because she knows that she could do a lot better. As she did win the US Open and her performance in day one is not reflective of what she could do. Bianca, on the other hand, was very happy with the way she played. She said that she was proud of her performance. Now the question is, could she improve on it? Could she maintain that level of play for the next 3 days? That remains to be seen. But if you're looking at Bianca's confidence levels, she says that the heat is actually helping her focus because she needs to think of so many things to stay in shape, to stay hydrated, and to concentrate on every hole. So if there is a positive that you can take from the searing heat, it's the fact that it's forcing Bianca to think more and focus on her game. Now for Yuka, the question is, how can she adjust? So she lost her caddy. I don't know if the caddy will be back anytime soon. And at the same time, she is still adjusting to the course. Still a lot of time for her to make up ground. But then moving day is very, very soon here in Tokyo.
All right, thank you very much, Pao, and we'll hear from you tomorrow. It's Paulo Del Rosario straight from Tokyo in Japan. Now, the pair that he's talking about, we're all talking about, will have 3 more days to climb up the rankings in a field of 60 golfers, and their competition resumes tomorrow morning. Now, we move on to the field of athletics with another Filipino athlete who made history last night as pole vaulter EJ Obiena cemented his place in the record books. The 25-year-old national record holder was the first national athlete to qualify for the Olympics. And just like his colorful socks on display last night, Obiena stood out as the only Asian to qualify in the men's finals and finished at 7th place. And joining us now to give some insight on the amazing journey and performance of EJ is his proud mother and former hurdler herself, Jeanette Obiena. Good evening po, and it's nice to have you back. It's nice to be talking to you again, Ma'am Jeanette.
Yes, good evening po, good evening. I just want to correct, EJ landed 11th po, not 7th.
11th.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes po.
Yes, to make the finals. Okay, ma'am, well, we had a wonderful conversation last weekend about EJ, his journey, and a lot of people were commenting and telling me that they learned so much from you, just from listening from you. So it's the best question to ask you. How do you assess your son's performance? We are sure you're incredibly proud of how he represented your family and the country. Let's talk about that, his performance and his representation as a whole in the Olympics.
Well, actually, being the mom, I'm very proud of what we have achieved for us. Being only the Asian there at the finals, it's really a tough thing to do. And competing with all those big names there, it's really tough. It's just that EJ is not that happy that he didn't get what he want to perform. Definitely in a competition, there is a winner and there is a loser, and all things happen for a reason. That's why when I talked to him, I told him that you have made our country proud, and you have given them what you have trained, and you've given your best. That is what I told him. So to all the people who are there at the social media, there are so many, even at the Senate, they watch him, they see him, and everybody who's cheering for him, I'm very, very thankful for your support, for all the Filipino support for my son.
Yes, Ma'am Jeanette, including us actually.
Of course.
As well as the whole country.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been supporting EJ. You mentioned you talked to him on the phone. I want to ask maybe, what was his side naman? How did he feel about his performance when you got to talk to him after performing?
Actually, he's not happy because he knows he's capable of. He's capable with, and we saw it on the attempts that he had made. It's still quite high. It's just that he cannot adjust to what they need to adjust there for the uprights so that he could clear the bar clearly. It's just sometimes, if you could recall, there is a jump there that he's already on the pit and the bar suddenly fall.
Right.
That's why it's not yet for him. Kumbaga sabi nga natin, hindi pa para sa'yo, kaya hindi siya uuk. Kung hindi uukol, hindi bubukol.
Ma'am, alam mo, on social media, while the whole country was watching, matensyon yung panonood ng mga Pilipino, no? Kinikilabutan sila or natensyon sila. And a lot of them are watching pole vault for the very first time, or maybe the second time, as he has performed in front of us again. What were you feeling? Were you feeling the same tension? Were you calm? Because you've seen this many times, but I mean, the Olympics is a totally different ballgame. Ano, as a mother and somebody who knows the sport technically also, how did you feel and how were you watching this?
Well, I was so nervous. Actually, maybe I prayed the rosary more than three rosaries full, more than, because I'm very, very nervous because I saw him when he is running at the runway. I know EJ, when he's already at the runway, you will really know if he's confident of the runway and what he's doing. But
Right.
as he entered last night, you would see that there is something missing, or there's a feeling that he's not in there. That's why you know that medyo kabado. Iba pa rin kasi kapag ka-Olympics. Yes, you are champion of all the events there. Even you could see Mondo there. Iba yung aura ng muka when they are there. Iba ang Olympics, iba ang tension. Kahit pa wala siyang audience doon. Iba pag sinabi mong Olympics, that's it. Yun yung magbigay ng pressure. Added, of course, you're there and adapting to the facility because that's only the second time that they were trained doon sa facility to give it a fair play to everybody. So it's quite still at the adjusting stage, and unfortunately EJ didn't make to adjust. That is why he didn't make the best that he could do. But actually we here watching him, we saw how high he could be, and it's just that hindi siya lumabas at that time. Ayan.
Ma'am, maraming salamat. We're extremely proud, but nobody can be prouder than you. And we're excited for the next run because, as you said, marami siyang natutunan dito. Now he knows. And then Paris 2024 and all the other worlds and Asian competitions that he will join. We're excited for his future. Thank you. As always, we love talking to you. And thanks for correcting us also. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat. And good luck for the next competitions.
Din po.
And from one historic Pinoy Olympian to another, here's a sneak peek at our exclusive Olympics edition of Inside the Game with the country's silver medalist, Mesty Patesio, as she reveals at one point she considered stepping away from the sport forever.
Gusto ko yun, gusto ko mag-quit talaga, gusto ko mag-focus sa school. Yun nga, ayaw kong makakita ng kahit anong gamit na sa boxing mo talaga. Pero yun po, sobrang thankful po ako unang-una kay Lord. Kasi gumamit po siya ng mga tao na para kausapin ako, i-convince ako na para sa akin yung boxing, bumalik ako sa boxing. Believe ako sa mga coaches ko kasi that time hinayaan nila ako eh. Hindi nila ako pinasure ko talaga, hindi nila ako pinilit. Kumbaga hinayaan nila na ramdamin ko yung moment na yun, yung sakit na yun, na sige ramdamin mo muna yan. Kapag okay ka na, kapag isipan mong bumalik ulit, ready kami.
And we watch out for the full version of Paolo Del Rosario's special one-on-one sit-down with Olympic silver medalist Mesty Patesio tomorrow night here on The Game. Also, don't forget that our kababayan Carlo Paalam and Yumir Marshall resume their quest towards an Olympic gold tomorrow in the men's flyweight and middleweight semis. And after the break, our PBL correspondent Atienza will take us inside the game of the defending champions Creamline, Tots, Carlos, and Kyla Atienza. Stay tuned, you're watching The Game.
Joining us tonight on Inside the Game are Creamline silent operators outside Spiker, Tots, Carlos, and reliable Libero, Kyla Atienza. Tots, Kyla, welcome to the game.
Hi!
Ayan. Okay, so bago nating simulan pag-usapan yung games, gusto kong kamustahin yung bubble setup nyo. Nasa Ilocos Norte tayo, and alam ko naman nasanay kayo sa Manila, maglaro, andun yung family nyo, andun yung friends nyo, andun yung fans. So, kamusta all in all, nasa loob tayo ng isang bubble naglalaro for this conference?
Well, quite challenging kasi we had to adjust. Kasi like, sa regular season before, nung wala pang pandemic, yung games hindi ganun ka dikit. Well, in yung trainings then, we go home every day. Tapos we have time to rest, ganyan. So the tournament, yung games din, medyo malayo yung um, agwat ng schedule. So parang we really had to adjust and adapt kaagad kasi yun yung yung kailangan natin i-work ngayon. So kung ano meron tayo, yun yung gagawin at yun yung tatanggapin natin. 'Di ba? Para at least yung sport, yung volleyball, pagkaroon na ng ganap dito sa Philippines.
For me naman, medyo nakatulong naman siya kasi matagal kaming nagstay sa isang place. So, nalaman namin kung ano yung strength namin and weaknesses, tsaka nakilala namin yung bawat isa. Lalo na si Tots na bago lang po sa amin. So,
Talagang naging mas close kayo, no? Sa bubble. Parang walang choice. Magkadikit araw-araw sa hirap at sa ginhawa. Talagang magkasama kayo lahat. Kyla, meron naman akong tanong para sa'yo. Masasabing isa ka sa mga naging napaka-reliable at steady para sa Creamline. Lagi kang naaasahan. Anong iniisip mo sa bawat moment na buong tapang mong hinaharap yung mga malalakas na spikes?
kahit dati pa naman po, yung mindset ko lang,
Kyla.
yung mindset ko lang naman po is to contribute and to help that team. Tsaka sobrang thankful po ako sa mga teammates ko ngayon dahil kapag nawawala or hindi makompose yung game, nandyan naman po sila lagi para umalalay ko.
Yes. And also, a few years ago, hindi pa ikaw yung main libero ng Creamline. Paano mo na isapuso ngayong conference ang role na ito, lalo't napakaganda ng pinapakita mo ngayon para sa Creamline?
Yun nga po, yung sinabi ko po kanina na gusto ko lang po talagang makatulong sa team. Kahit ano pa pong role ang ibigay sa akin. And
Tiger?
oh! Kaya, ayun po, sobrang thankful lang po talaga ako na nandyan po yung mga teammates ko na laging nag-a-advise. Yun po, sa kanila ko po i-dedicate yung mga games ko.
And for Tots naman, let's go back to that first moment when you met the squad in real life. Syempre, bago ka sa team eh. So, alam mo yun, pwede mag-throwback Thursday tayo dito kung paano mo sila na-meet, awkward ba, o talagang vibe check. Okay, parang bagay ako dito, good vibes lahat, nakakatawa lahat. Kwento mo sa amin.
Well, hindi naman kasi ako ganun kaiba sa teammates ko. Like, even nung nasa ibang team pa ako, medyo close na kami. Like, nagpapansinan na kami, ganyan. Sila Ate Gia, yan. Medyo kinakausap kami ako ng mga yan. Sila Ate MG, sila Ate Lai.
Yes.
So, hindi naging mahirap para sa akin mag-adjust. Kasi, well, everyone in the team, very accepting yung personality nila. So, talagang yung pag-welcome sa akin, buong puso talaga. And, maganda rin kasi yung sistema ng team. So, hindi talaga ako nahirapan na mag-adjust.
Nako, kung alam nyo lang po kung gaano kaingay.
Baka ikaw dun yung bagong ilaw ng tahanan, Tots. And another question for you. Sa bawat match na pumapasok ka, masasabing high-impact player ka dahil nakaka-convert ka agad. Anong mindset mo pag pumapasok ka para sa Creamline?
Thank you for that wonderful question. I think it's really the pag-accept ng role eh. Kasi sa team, of course, sobrang pinagkakatiwalaan ko yung teammates ko. Yan, sila Kyla, sila Ate Gia, Gemma. So, sobrang believe ako sa kanila. And actually, in fact, sobrang idol ko sila. So, so, yun lang. Mindset lang namin lagi. Like, gaya ng mga kasama ko sa second six, mindset namin lagi na every time na ipapasok kami, dapat ready kami.
Going into the semi soon, anong babaunin ninyo as one of the possible semi-finalists?
Sa competition po kasi na to, parang mahirap na play safe eh. Kasi bawat game sobrang mahalaga. So you need to take a risk talaga na gawin mo na lahat. Gawin mo lahat ng magagawa mo para makakontribute, para manalo ka sa game.
Yung message ninyo para sa fans ng Creamline.
Of course, we want to say thank you first to the management, JCN, Sir Alan, Ma'am Eileen, Ma'am Liza, Liz Ann, Attorney Lily, and also we want to thank also the fans kasi sobrang supportive nila sa amin, win or lose, andyan kayo palagi. And sana magtuloy-tuloy pa yung pag-support niyo sa amin kasi isa kayo sa mga pinanguhugutan namin ng lakas. So we're really grateful na nandyan kayo para sa amin.
Nagpapasalamat po kami sa lahat ng mga fans namin na talagang sumusuporta po sa amin, win or lose, na talagang naniniwala po sa amin. And sa family po namin na lagi po na nandyan, especially sa bubble setup, na medyo hindi kami sanay. So,
Challenging
siya. Kaya, ayun po, sobrang nagpapasalamat kami. Nakikita po namin how they support us.
And that was Creamline's Tots, Carlos and Kyla Atienza on Inside the Game with our PVL correspondent who's there in Ilocos Norte, Atienza. Right now, Creamline is playing. They are down a set, 25-18, 25-9, and they just lost the third set, 21-25. So Choco Mucho ahead, 2-1. In the meantime, after the break, we'll be talking NBA free agency as Melo teams up with LeBron and the Lakers, and DeRozan is headed to the Bulls. Stay tuned, you're watching the game. You're still watching the game. I'm Boom Gonzalez. It is time for us to talk NBA free agency. Again, nabitin tayo kagabi. With all these changes happening in the league, let's break down some moves with my partner, NBA.com Philippine All-Star analyst. Dapat All-Star. I have to say that. It's in my contract. Jet Manuel. Actually, buti na nabitin tayo last night, Jet, because mas maraming nangyari today. Let's begin with the Lakers. I suppose let's start with that.
My favorite team.
Yeah, let's go. Break it down for us.
Okay, so some say that they have become old with their recent hires of, with their recent signings of vets. So you have Melo, you have Dwight, you have Trevor Ariza, Wayne
That's right.
Ellington,
That's
Kent
right.
Bazemore. So some say they're getting old, and guess what? Yeah, they really are old now. I think the direction of the management is really to get vets who can win now. I think this is for them
sure,
a
yes.
win now mentality. The recent moves that they've been making have been in that direction, and I think that it's more of contrary to how other rebuilding teams are doing it. They want to win in the next year, not even in 2 years.
Yeah.
I think they're doing it. LeBron's not getting any older.
Yeah, the window is very
Exactly.
small, right? But didn't they get like some young ones today, right?
Yeah, so Malik Monk,
All right.
I
yeah.
think for him, and Nunn.
None. I love
Yeah,
Kendrick
I
Nunn.
love Kendrick Nunn. So, but Malik Monk, I love this pick.
From
personally.
Charlotte, correct?
From Charlotte,
Yes,
yes.
okay.
So he came from Charlotte. They got him off free agency. I don't know yet the contract details,
Okay.
but it's got to be pretty cheap with how much cap space they have from all the moves that they made beforehand. But he's a great pick because in the Hornets, I was actually surprised why they didn't play him more. I mean, his 20 minutes, he averaged 20 minutes
He
off
did
the
get
bench.
injured for a while,
Yes,
and
he
then
did.
he came back.
But
So,
when they were playing, he averaged 20 minutes, but he averaged 11 points and 2.1 threes per game, I believe. And I think that just answers, along with Melo, the question mark of, you have vets, but you have Russell Westbrook, you have LeBron AD, but you don't have three-point shooters.
Okay.
So Monk and Melo, I think that's the answer.
Okay, I don't want to take you away from your Lakers, but we have to. Let's talk about the Bulls. The former Laker Caruso is there. DeMar DeRozan, these are the conversations. Lonzo Bull, as they say, is already there with Zach LaVine. And of course, Vucevic, who got traded last year or last NBA season.
So
what are your
for me,
thoughts?
okay, so the Bulls are dangerous this season. I think that
Finally, huh?
Yes, finally. They surrounded Zach LaVine, who is on an expiring year. I think they want to give him some confidence that they're gonna be a playoff team with the recent moves that they made. Lonzo Ball is a perfect fit. He's a playmaker. They need a point guard with Kobe White out for a while. He can play both ends of the floor. Finally, they have a guy that can guard the best player of the opposing team.
Got better shooting too.
Got better shooting.
Way better.
Exactly right. So he has developed as the years went by, and I think this is a perfect time for him to peak. And along with DeMar DeRozan, who I think the only knock on his game is that he hasn't or refuses to develop a three-point shot. He just refuses to take threes. But with the guys around him and DeMar DeRozan in the post, he's going to be playing the power forward position. But he averaged 7 assists last season. So I think you can credit the Spurs system, but he's that type of guy that can create plays if you spread the floor around him with Vucevic, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, and Caruso is going to be coming off the bench. It's going to be a great and dangerous season for the Bulls.
That meme of Caruso going into Michael Jordan's face, you see that?
I love that.
This is a perfect time to bust it out again. All right, and let's add on to the conversation last night that we had about Miami, because there are some new developments on the front of Miami, other than Kyle Lowry, other than PJ Tucker. Now there are talks about Markieff Morris, and they obviously just re-signed Duncan Robinson to the richest contract of an undrafted player, right?
Exactly.
Okay, tell me about that.
So let's go with Duncan Robinson first.
Okay.
I think if there are any parents or parents with kids that want to play basketball, let them shoot in their backyard.
Right.
You can apparently make a lot of money just by shooting the ball.
90 million,
90 million in 3 years.
Right.
So that's Duncan Robinson's role, and he has played it to a T with the percentages and the usage rate he had last season. But adding that, Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker, and Markieff Morris. These guys are perfect fits for the Miami Heat. These guys have that grit, have that dog. I mean, we see PJ Tucker always talking about that dog mentality, and I think Kyle Lowry, along with him, along with Markieff, I think they even add to that even more. And the Heat are going to be, I think, in my opinion, top 4, top 3 team in the East.
Top 4 lang, huh?
Top
Yeah,
4.
because there is Milwaukee, there is Brooklyn, and it will all be. And then Bam Adebayo, what kind of development are you seeing after this stint from the Olympics?
I think he's gonna look. He's been playing well. I think he's not that prototypical center. I think this is more of a maturing year for him. I think he just the past few seasons he just showed us flashes of his potential, and I think now he's more steady. He's more of a vet. He has that experience, but he still has that youth to go along with it.
There's more happening in the weeks to come, Jet.
A lot more.
You're gonna be here many more times to talk about these things.
Thank you.
Can't wait for that. Okay.
And thank you for joining us. I'm Jet Manuel.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. Thanks for watching. My name is Boom Gonzalez. This has been The Game.